Boy. All right.
What was it?
So, as far as, does assessment make sense? Quizzes, projects, exams, everybody understand what's going on there?
You might see.
Yeah, you guys might all have different point values. As far as calculating your grade, it's extraordinarily simple. You just divide the points you've earned by the points you could have earned. And that could be variable depending on where you are in the term and how many assessments you've turned in. So, let's see, let's back out here. In case you want to, I'm going to be emailing you guys a progress report once a week with everything I've got from you. So you guys make sure that what I've got in the Excel spreadsheet is what you actually have in your folder. Hang on to all that stuff when I hand it back to you. I have a grader that does some of the stuff, and I do some of the stuff myself. I tend to do the higher point things like the exams, sometimes the projects. She gets paid hourly and loves knocking out the quizzes. So, but just make sure that both of us are grading properly. Keep an eye on that stuff. If you need to calculate your grade at any given time, I gave you a little grades calculator down here you can feel free to use. You put in how many exams and quizzes and projects you've done, and then you put in your scores down here, and you hit calculate, and it pops out your average, your numerical average. I'm on a 10-point scale, if that means anything, I guess it does. But anyway, that's where your assessments are going to go. If you need more boxes, let me know. Some of you may actually need more boxes than that, depending on how many quizzes that you do. I based that around 20, which would be what, 10 for, 16 would be a minimum you'd have to do, right? 2 exams, 4 projects, and 10 quizzes, that's 16. So this gives you 20 boxes, but some of you might actually need more than that if you do like more than 14 quizzes, I guess. So we may have to update this. It's okay, you can if you want to. Your choice. Cool? And like I said, you're getting a progress report every week, so you're going to have an update of how you're doing, how many quizzes you need to keep track of, so you don't. All right. Let's see. Okay, this page, rules and hints. This is what, when you think of a syllabus, this is kind of the page it's got a frowny face on it. So this is like the thou shalt not page, like about missing class, not turning things in on time, things like that. I'm not going to read it to you because I gave you a quiz on it instead. So in week 1, that quiz that's due on Thursday, this is the only non-statistical quiz you'll have. It's a quiz on that page. So your job is to go to that page, and is it true or false based on that page. By submitting this quiz, you are accepting liability that you understand that page, and you won't come crying later when you try to break one of the rules. And if you don't submit it, that's also assuming liability. Like not bachelor with the ticket. Break your leg in this class. It's all you. No, anyway, this is just a way of getting you to read that page and understand little things like due dates and things like that, and why you need to do things a certain way, because I'm the way I am, and you'll find out why as you read that page. So, make sense so far? You guys good? A big one on here is about email communication. I tried to send you all an email today. There's a way I can do a mass email of all 4 of my classes at one time. It failed. I just realized it's in my inbox still. You'll be getting communications from me quite a bit via email, so in case you're not, after today, that means maybe your spam filter's blocking me. So you might want to check to make sure that my email, it shouldn't be, unless you have it set really strictly. But you just make sure, that's how I communicate. Like if I forget to do something in class and I want to send you another piece of material, another resource, I'll send it to you that way versus individual email. There's your first quiz of 10. Knock it out. Yeah. If you want to. You can also skip it. Do 10 more some other time. All right, that's that. Enrichment. This is a page you might never ever have to go to. It's a place where I put stuff that's either very related or pseudo-related to the class, but you're not going to be tested on or responsible for directly. The helpful math links are just things people have told me about that seem to help people. A lot of times students will find like a math website they like a lot, and then stay in that one. Khan Academy is the new one, the new big one. Khan is pretty awesome. What I love what he's doing, but what he's doing, unfortunately, is fairly traditional. He's taking traditional topics and videotaping them. I'm videotaping stuff too, but I'm videotaping and showing you alternate ways of doing things rather than the traditional way, which is great, because now you can go to him if you want the traditional way, and you can watch mine and compare and contrast with both. So that's a fantastic resource. There's a whole bunch there. See the materials page. If you have a TI graphing calculator, this is how to do statistics with it. I'll teach you all that in class. You don't need to go to this page. We'll do it together. And plus you'll have the YouTube videos from class too. So just, again, one more resource in case you need it. This is all that kind of stuff. the stuff that I was an annoying student with in class, like when I would ask my profs, like, yeah, but why? Why is that formula like that? And they'd be like, well, because if you do this and this and you do some handwriting, I'm like, no, you can't just jump from there to there. And I'm like the most annoying student. So eventually they tire of my questions and they just move on. So I would go home and prove it myself. So if you're interested in reading stuff that looks like this, the mathematics behind a lot of what we're doing, it's all in here for you. If you're also, if you need to fall asleep late at night and you're having a hard time, that might be the trick. So if anybody's math, like very much interested in the math behind the stat, this is where it lives. And sometimes I'll even say, you might want to go to the arithmetic page for this, because it's buried in there. Please, sir.
I'm sorry, I might have missed it. Do we need a TA83?
You don't need one. A cell phone will do it very nicely if you can download apps for that. I didn't mention this, I should have. Thank you for bringing it back up, Serenity. On the materials page, in case you want to use the 83, because that's what I'm kind of using in class, there's a little here, this little link right here. You can run the TI emulator on any PC. If you click on that here, it's an executable file. If you have a PC laptop, you can dump a TI-83 onto it for free. So by all means, you can use that to run it. If you want to use a TI-83, a smartphone will do the trick very nicely, but it won't look exactly like what I'm doing up here. So, but there is a TI-83 app. If you have an Android phone, I'm pretty sure there's one for an iPhone now. Let's see if this still links. Yep, the Andy 83, which basically puts the 83 onto your phone. I'm going to say this. I'm not sure how legal this is. This is like that Wild West app world where copyrights are like dancing around like, copyright, got me wrong. And I'm not exactly sure. You have to install something called ROM. I don't know. I'm going to leave it out there because people do this all the time. And the TI site itself has a link to this on there. So if you're, I don't know. It just feels weird to me. I grew up in the era of Frank Zappa dubbing tapes and the controversy that caused. So, and then Napster later with trading MP3s, all of which I'm a huge fan of, but that doesn't mean it's illegal. So, I'm going to leave it at that. There's plenty of freebies out there you can use if you don't want to have the TI-83 in front of you. Then you can definitely just go to the App Store, probably grab one for 99 cents or less. And if you want to sit with me and search through it, I'd be more than happy to do that with you too. So. Cool? I cannot justify making you guys go out and spend 180 bucks on a calculator. That's ridiculous. Especially one that looks like Pac-Man as far as graphics go. So, two of you laughed with Pac-Man. That shows a whole lot. Yes. Anyway, the rest of the syllabus is outcomes and college policies, both of which have to be on there. Outcomes is basically what we're going to do in the course. And you already saw that with that. And college policies is, you'll see that in every one of your syllabi that you have in your folder. So, that's the syllabus. You guys can make your way around it. It's pretty straightforward, yeah? Yeah, I think so. Pretty straightforward. So, any questions, please email me, please call me, please ask me. So anything right now come to mind as far as, it's not, please tell me your name again too.
Sarah.
Sarah, thank you, go.
So maybe I missed it, but do you have like a sheet or something that says when things are due?
It'll be on that schedule page.
Okay.
And all the due dates are already in red. Thank you, Sarah, great question. I want to eventually get to a sheet where the dates are next to it. I just haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
This is a bit of a ridiculous project. So basically you've got all these red boxes. Those are your due dates. So this project is due in week 3 on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
These quizzes will all be hyperlinked at least a week in advance, so you'll have time to get them done. But the projects are already hyperlinked. You can start on that one right now if you wanted to, and it's just due beginning of class that day.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then the exam will be hyperlinked. The exam that's in week 5, I'm going to have this guy hyperlinked weeks before that, so you'll know what's on it. So
Okay.
plenty of time, plenty of lead-up time. Please, Rory, go.
Late policy?
Late policy. It varies a little bit, and rather than give it to you now, if you don't mind, let me wait on it and talk about it when it's actually apropos. Like it's a little bit different for projects and for quizzes and things like that. If you don't mind me waiting on it, it makes more sense rather than doing it now and then doing it again. Then let's just do it if that's cool. But there is one, and it varies a smidge for each one. We'll get into that, please. And this is
Susan,
Susan. Thank you.
are the numbers in parentheses, are those the actual dates of the week?
Monday through Friday.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so that's Monday the 27th to
Right.
Friday the 31st.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hopefully they're right because I did them manually. Other questions? These are great. Thank you. Rory's question about late policy is great. I don't want to push it off, but it does make sense to talk about it on Thursday and then the following Thursday as well. We'll get to that. I promise you that.
So the quizzes, you just click on them, like
You will. Eventually, you'll just be clicked on, they pop a document open.
Okay.
You can print it if you want, or you can just do it on scrap paper.
So it's due for the schedule, or on the syllabus won't be due until next week?
No, it's this Thursday.
It's this Thursday.
Yeah, check that out, check that out. Let's back up again. That's a good question, Fred. Thank you. So week 1, it's right here, which is Thursday of week 1. So that would be the 8th.
Okay.
No, the 9th. Wait, what the hell day is it today?
It's the
It is
6th.
9th. It's 7. I said the same thing. It's 6. No, it's not. That was yesterday. Crap. Anyway,
But
yes,
it's
let's do
not
next
hyperlinked
class.
yet, but it will
It
be.
is. That one is.
Oh,
This
it
is
is.
the only one that's hyperlinked. Is this one?
Gotcha.
The one for next week is not yet, but it will be as of I'm thinking tomorrow morning. I'll have a hyperlink on that one for you. Make sense? Yeah, and it is a little bit weird. I know the way I run things is not normally traditional, but you'll get the hang of it very quickly. And it does make sense once you get the hang of it. Kind of like we're on a Mac. It does make sense once you get the hang of it. It makes a lot more sense than a PC, but it does take some getting used to. Any other questions? Those are fantastic. Please tell me your name.
Mal,
Mal, thank you.
can you go over the extra credit again?
Oh, for sure. There's going to be a little bit of extra credit. I didn't even mention that yet, did I?
No.
There's little extra credit things sprinkled throughout the course. You'll encounter them as you go. Sometimes they're in quizzes. So let me just thank you for this, actually. Now, I'm going to go up to this first project just to pull it up so you can see it. So it's a bit of reading. It's a bit of reading. And then at some point, and I usually put them at the end of the projects, it's the stuff that you have to do. And you'll know it's stuff that you have to do because in bold parentheses I put point values on things. 2 points each, 2 points each, 3 points each, 5 points each, and things like that. That's the stuff you have to submit to me as your solutions to those problems. Some of those I give you the solutions to. For example, the answer to the first one is 0.29. Your job is to show me why it's 0.29. So, and that all makes sense as you read this, as you read through the document. If there are extra credit opportunities, what you'll see is the word extra, 2 extra points, 3 extra points. Anything like that, you don't have to do because it's purely extra. It would make the value of the project go to 28 instead of 25, for example. By all means, do it if you want to. It's not going to count against you if you get it wrong. That's one way extra credit will occur. It could also occur on exams or quizzes. Sometimes I hide them inside homework assignments. Like one of my favorites is prove that the sum of the deviations from average in any distribution is 0. It's a good one. It's hard to say too without screwing it up. But it's a great little algebraic or logical progression if you choose to do it. But you don't have to choose to do it. So that's a couple ways that you can do extra credit in here. Is that what you were referring to? I think, yeah. So that's sprinkled throughout. Sprinkled throughout. I said there's probably 20 points throughout the entire course somewhere. But it's just a matter of finding it all. It's like a treasure hunt. Where's Waldo? Make sense? Good. I'm going to put this out there too. I also created this thing called the Stat of the Day blog. I started this about 3 years ago. The idea of it was twofold. It was to post what I've been finding in the world that's related to statistics, besides what we do in class already. But the idea of this is, it doesn't come to me in the correct timing for class. Like, I might read an idea, I'm like, that's a perfect week 8, 244 problem. But I read it in week 2. So I just throw it up there and I say, here's something to think about. And then I would give people extra credit opportunities for analyzing it and going further with it. It never took off. People never really looked at it from a extra point kind of thing. They enjoy reading it because it's a way of analyzing your world. So I encourage you guys to get, there's tons of archives for this thing down at the bottom here. Tons of stuff I've been posting over there. That Russian asteroid, remember that? Or the Russian, whatever it was, meteor. There's Star Wars Trouble. Me my son playing that one. There's a great probability in that. Whole buttload of stuff from a couple of years ago. Yeah, anyway. So, it's there. Again, if you're having trouble sleeping some night, grab it over on your smartphone and check out a blog editor too. But, so that's about the extra credit though. As far as that goes. Hope that answers your question a little bit, Mel. To some degree. And it'll be sprinkled throughout. Cool? Other questions? Those were great.
Can you do that blog? It's
Oh, thank you. Sorry about tell me your name again. Was it Richard?
Richie, actually.
Richie, you got it, my friend. Just, it's from the schedule page. Without a K. And then, on the very first day, just stat of the day. It used to be a stat of the day. Back before my son was 6, and now he occupies a lot more of my time. I could actually post things daily. Now I'm looking for once a month, which is why I put stat of the day in quotes. So, but there's hundreds of entries, I think, in there that you can pour through if you're interested. And some of them are more, some of you are like, I don't care about this crap. But some of it might actually interest you. So, if it's there if you want to pour through it. I actually had a former student email me, why haven't you updated the Stat of the Day blog? This is from 2 years ago. And he was every day he was watching for another update. I'm like, all right, people subscribing to my little blog. Other questions on any of this stuff? Yeah, we'll figure it out together. It'll make a lot of sense to you guys. So what I have for the rest of the day, I'm going to start and stop the camera, or stop and start the camera again. I try to break up the class video.